I was reflecting on a personal experience that I had a few years ago where I was newly promoted to a management role, and I absolutely loved the work. I couldn't get enough of it. The work was very busy and I threw myself into it heart and soul, and I ended up working really pretty quite long hours and rather unusual hours because I'm a person who wakes up very early. So I might email my team at 5 in the morning, I might arrange meetings at 7 o'clock in the evening. And it wasn't until a colleague of mine pointed out to me that what this behaviour, how this behaviour was impacting on some of my team members, and not in a positive way. And it was really valuable feedback for me to take on board, that as a new manager, to be working excessive hours kind of made me a role model. And I never intended to be a role model of a woman manager, don't get me wrong, but just by my very behaviour, other women were looking at the work that I did and thinking that to get on, they also had to do 15-hour days and work at the weekends. And that was by no means my intention. It was just that I loved my job. And so it wasn't until it was pointed out to me that I realised that as a manager I've also got an accountability as a role model. And so for me to encourage other women that I'm working with that they don't need to sacrifice their families to be able to do a good job, and that in order to achieve a senior level you don't have to be working 80 hours a week every week. Sometimes that does occur and sometimes we do need to do it, but if I made it a pattern and a habit, what was pointed out to me was that was then actually quite discouraging for other women who were saying, well, if that's what it takes, then I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to do it. And so that was a really interesting learning for me, and I think a bit of a wake-up call for me around how I'm seen by others and how unintentionally that might be interpreted.